So by now, I'm sure you've all heard Coach Spo's brutally honest comments about Kel'el Ware prior to the Cavs game yesterday. He had some pretty hard call-outs of his unprofessionalism and lack of effort, and truthfully, it was a bit shocking to hear as a Heat fan because Coach Spo is a guy that doesn't typically publicly criticize his players, so we all knew it was an issue, and I was very interested to see how Kel'el Ware would respond against the Cavaliers. And to his credit, he played pretty good offensively, showed some pretty good effort there, but I still think there was a little bit to be desired, specifically on the rebounding end. Doesn't really box out a ton. I don't think his technique is great, so that's what I want to break down in today's video. I do want to say, though, I don't necessarily blame Kel'el Ware for not knowing how to box out. His entire life, he's probably been the tallest player on the court and the most athletic, so he didn't have to box out to get a bunch of rebounds. But in the NBA, he's definitely going to need to learn how to do that. But let's get into the footage. Now, the film isn't super clear here because I had to record my laptop screen since I couldn't find the actual footage anywhere online. But I want you to pay attention to Kel'el Ware's lack of effort on a lot of these rebounds. I'm actually going to be showing you 3 consecutive possessions in the fourth quarter where I think Kel'el Ware has some things he needs to work on from a rebounding perspective. So this play is going to start right here with Kira Lewis guarding on ball. You're going to see the screen come to be set on his left side. The Heat are going to switch that. Now Javonte Cook is guarding ball, and Kira Lewis has to recover to the roll man. He's going to do that a bit slow. You can see Kira Lewis is on his back here. So Pelle Larsson now has to slide up to recover so he can help Kira Lewis on the roll man. So when Pelle Larsson steps up, Kel'el Ware actually does a nice job now rotating to help cover Pelle Larsson's man. But eventually, Kira Lewis is going to recover. He's going to get in front of his man. Pelle Larsson is then going to rotate back to his man. But watch what Kel'el Ware does. So Pelle Larsson goes back to his man here. But look at Kel'el Ware. He's completely out of position because now he doesn't rotate back to his man here. And eventually, the shot's going to go up. But by this point, Kel'el Ware is the one who's getting boxed out. He's in no position to get this rebound. The Cavs guy has it wide open. But in this particular instance, the Heat are going to end up with the rebound. But I want you to pay attention to the ensuing offensive possession here, where after the Heat get up a shot, Kel'el Ware really doesn't do a great job tracking this rebound with both hands. He kind of tries to tip it to himself, and that's just not going to work in the NBA. What I would have really liked to see him do here is commit to this box out. You see, he starts to box out, but then as soon as he sees the shot's about to go up by Keshad Johnson, he relaxes. And now all of a sudden, the Cavs player is in rebounding position. Kel'el Ware really doesn't do a good effort here grabbing this with 2 hands. He's going to go up with 1 hand here. He's going to tip to himself, go up with 1 hand again. The other hand's at his hip, and he's just not going to be able to secure this rebound. So I kind of would like to see him be a little bit harder with these box outs and go with these rebounds with 2 hands. Now, this next clip is not even a minute later. The Heat are actually going to start out by doing some pretty good defensive rotation, but the Cavs are still going to maintain possession because Kel'el Ware doesn't do a great job boxing out. You're going to see here the Heat are rotating well. Kira Lewis is going to go inside. He's going to see the man wide open up top, so he's going to run out. Now Keshad Johnson's going to sprint out here, and eventually the shot's going to go up. I think this is a decent contest by Keshad right here, but look at Kel'el Ware. Initially goes for the box out, but then look him give up. He essentially gets pushed right off of his spot there by a guy who is significantly smaller than him. This is just not good commitment on the box out at all. You can't let this small guy use 1 forearm to completely push you off your spot. You see how Kel'el Ware is just jumping there with 2 feet off his spot. Right here, he's established, and then boom. He's completely out of rebounding position now. He knocks it out of bounds. Cavaliers maintain possession. You really have to throw your ass into the offensive player, for lack of a better term, in order to secure those rebounds. And at 7 feet, 250, whatever Kel'el Ware is now, they just said he put on 10 pounds. You have to use that big frame and muscle in order to secure these box outs and get those rebounds. And then this was the very next defensive possession where the Cavs are going in transition. And look at Kel'el Ware just stand there like he's DeAndre and not even trying to get into the mix for those rebounds. He's just literally standing there as you have 4 Cavs players jump for the ball. There's 4 white shirts. Kel'el Ware's just standing there, a few feet in from the free throw line, just standing there, watching the Cavs get all these rebounds. Eventually, he's going to get in there, but he can't hold on to it, and the Cavaliers are going to maintain possession, get up a shot. You're going to see Kel'el Ware look back which is what you're supposed to do when the shot goes up, because you need to track where the offensive player is so you can start to box out. So Kel'el Ware is going to start his box out right here. But then look, he gives up on it. There's really no contact on the box out at all. Right here, he's boxing out a ghost, not Casper Shakachonis. He's boxing out air. And then by the time the Cavs player actually comes in, Kel'el Ware's standing up. He's not in box out position at all. And because of that, the Heat are in no position to get this rebound and ending up just smacking another one out of bounds as the Cavaliers maintain possession. You got to get contact on these box outs right here, and that's something Kel'el Ware just didn't make an effort to do these plays. But now let's get into some of the positives offensively. We're going to react into another Brady Hawk thread who does a great job on Twitter, but I can provide some further analysis in these videos. This, of course, was the very first play of the game in which they were looking for Kel'el Ware to get things going, and he was able to finish with such a soft touch inside, something that I've always praised him for. You can see them feed him the ball on the low block here. Keshad Johnson's in the middle, and he's going to do the smart thing of clearing out of the paint to give Ware all of this space here to operate. The one bad thing, though, is Pelle Larsson kind of cuts a little bit too early. I think he didn't expect Ware to pump fake, because you can see right there, Ware does throw in a pump fake, where Larson's thinking he's going in for a rebounding position, but Kel'el Ware wasn't quite ready to shoot yet. So it's a little bit of a contested paint there, but because Ware is so strong and so tall and has such great touch, he's still able to get it to go. I like how he does actually put this little bump into the defender right there to create a little bit of separation. And at 7 feet tall, again, with that kind of touch, look where he releases that ball. A lot of big men, they'll hit the back of the rim with this. They have no finesse whatsoever. And Kel'el Ware, being the 7-footer that he is nothing short of impressive that he has this kind of touch. And I like to see him get a little jump hook out of the post. I'd like to see him do more of that than the turnaround fadeaways, because I think this is the more reliable shot. So this was an excellent way to start the game for Kel'el. And on these next two clips, you're going to see Kel'el Ware do a pretty great job of moving without the ball to get some easy looks. You're going to see on this attempt right here, he does a great job sealing his man on his left shoulder so that there's no deterrence between him and the rim. Pelle Larsson does a great job seeing this, throws a beautiful pass over the defender, and Kel'el Ware is able to catch it up inside and dunk it in. With Kel'el Ware moving without the ball, looking for advantages here, he's going to get a lot of easy baskets like this. So I was glad to see him, again, with the offensive efforts on that side of the ball. This one, same thing. This was a great set play after the timeout. You're going to see Eric Stevenson set an off-ball screen here. Kel'el Ware is just going to run around it and get an easy dunk off a nice pass from Keshad. Might be a little bit of a moving screen from Stevenson, kind of pushes his defender into the other defender, but either way, it was a nice play, no call, and Kel'el Ware was being active, moving without the ball, and when you do that, you're going to get easy dunks like this. And in this next one, we're going to see Kel'el Ware get a 3 off of great dribble penetration by Kel'el Ware. All season and in my last film breakdown and pretty much every film breakdown, we stress the importance of getting paint touches because that opens up easy looks. Watch how Pelle Larsson is going to beat his man, get into the paint right here, and now he has 2 defenders on him. Defenders had to help because Pelle Larsson was getting to the rim. And as soon as you get that paint touch, that's when you find Keshad Johnson open at the outside. The defense is off balance because they're trying to rotate like crazy, and Keshad makes the right read to give it to Kel'el Ware, who's wide open at the top of the key, and it's just a quick release. Because as Brady points out a lot, Kel'el Ware is better when he doesn't think. And in this case, there's no hesitation. Raises up right away. I think his form is absolutely gorgeous. And look at that release point. He's 7 feet tall, jumping over a foot off the ground with full extension. There's nobody in the league who's going to be able to block that shot. So if the Heat can continue getting paint touches like this and finding Kel'el Ware out on the outside, that's just going to make everything else so much easier, because then the defense is not going to be able to help off Kel'el Ware, and then maybe Pelle would actually be able to get to the rim on the initial take. So this is an important shot for Kel'el Ware to take, and it looks absolutely beautiful going down. This next one was a really interesting play because it looks like a pick and lob without any actual pick. It's going to start with this great dribble handoff between Kira Lewis and Javonte Cook. And then Javonte Cook's going to serve an absolute dime to Kel'el Ware, who can catch the ball from anywhere and dunk it down. And the reason that this worked is because of that quick dribble handoff. The defense right here was a little bit slow to recover, and Kel'el Ware was doing another great job being active without the ball and moving. and he's kind of in the Cavs defender's way here. And that's going to be enough for Javonte Cook to get a step around the corner here. Kel'el Ware's defender. This big man has to step up. And then you can see right here, Kel'el Ware has a free run to the rim, and Cook serves up that dime on a silver platter. And look at that. If Kel'el Ware is one of those type of guys, you could throw the ball up anywhere and he'll go get it. Just like Derrick Jones Jr. back in the day, except Kel'el Ware is 7 feet tall. He must be a super fun guy to play with. Like, imagine when he gets a legitimate pick and roll playmaker. I think we'll see plays like this a lot more often. And it all started because Kel'el Ware was being active, moving without the ball. And in this next clip, we're going to see a pretty nice defensive possession from Ware as he gets a pretty good looking block. This time he does a great job staying on his feet after the pump fake. And because of that, he gets a nice block starting the fast break in transition. One of Kel'el Ware's biggest weaknesses on the defensive end last year is he jumped at everything. He was block happy. And I don't blame him. With his kind of athleticism and timing, I would try to block everything too. But offensive players are going to counter that by throwing in pump fakes like this Cavs player did right here. What Kel'el Ware has to learn is that because he is 7 feet tall, he doesn't need to jump to block everything. And this time, he does a good job staying disciplined. You can see initial pump fake right here. Kel'el Ware stays on his feet. You see the foot is planted. And then when the Cavs player does go up, that's lunch money for Kel'el Ware, starting the fast break. Also does a good job using some soft hands to keep this one in bounds. So I want to give him credit for that too. And this next clip looks pretty similar to the first play of the game, where Kel'el Ware is going to get nice position inside, not settle, and go up and basically dunk on the defender's head as it rattles in and one. This whole play is going to start with Kel'el Ware setting the screen, and then he's going to roll to get position on the inside. You're going to see Kasparis do a good job here running to the corner in order to clear out and give Kel'el Ware the entire side of the court here to operate. You're going to see all 4 Heat players on the outside. Kel'el Ware has a ton of space to work, and when he goes in, he could settle for this mid-range jump hook. He could settle for a fadeaway, but instead he shows great footwork to drop step inside, and because he goes up strong, he's able to get the shot up off the backboard and one. And then I love the emotion he shows right here. Kel'el Ware is not a guy who shows his heart on his sleeve a lot. That's why I think it's difficult a lot of times to read his effort level, but this time he was feeling himself. He started mean mugging a little bit, and I really like to see that from the kid because that just means he's having fun out there. And just another super strong take by him. I definitely hope we see more of that. And in this last clip, we're going to see Kel'el Ware hit a 3 where you can really tell his confidence was going. It's going to start by Kasparis getting that pretty good dribble penetration. He's going to basically get close to the paint. He's going to have a lot of the defense's eyes on him. Kel'el Ware is going to step out here. The defender is a little bit hesitant to come all the way out. I guess he still doesn't respect Kel'el Ware's jump shots, and because of that, Kel'el Ware is going to make him pay, and once again, doesn't hesitate. He raises super quick, and I think that's when he's at his best. Just beautiful form. You can see he has the whole wrist locked in. The guide hand is perfect, and then he's going to be able to get that ball to go. And if he's hitting these threes off of movements, you can see his body's fading to the left a little bit here. That's just going to make him an absolutely unguardable player. He's not going to hit these type of shots all the time, nor should he be taking them. But when his confidence is high, I think it's really good that he's sprinkling these in. But that's all I got to say for this video. Let me know your thoughts on Kel'el Ware's performance down in the comments below. The Heat do play again tonight on the second night of a back-to-back, so hopefully Kel'el Ware can start stacking up these good days because that's what's most important. Make sure to like the video and subscribe because your support is greatly appreciated, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out, everyone.
Pull up in your city trying to get that dead face. Do it on my own, I don't need no dead weight. Had to kill him off, yeah, I need a head space. You know this homegrown bitch don't offend me.